Morning, Mark from the Lawnologist. Decided to make a video to explain to you the step-by-step stages we go through when we're doing a lawn renovation and what to expect at the end of it. I've had a few customers tell me it's not what they're expecting, and then certainly when I start using terms like deep scarification, aeration, top dressing, overseeding, it's very easy to get confused without having a visual representation of what I'm talking about. So today I'm going to slow my videos down and actually show you step by step what I do on a lawn here in Colchester with the kind permission of my customer. So first of all, let's have a quick look where we're at the moment. The first stage is to mow the lawn short, and this is what I've done. So let me show you by turning the camera around. So already this morning, the first step is to mow the lawn short, which you can see that I've done. Also, let's have a quick look at the state the lawn's in at the moment. Very patchy, dead, undulations, and generally just feeling a bit sorry for itself. This lawn really hasn't recovered well from the drought, and with it being a south-facing garden, it's fared pretty bad. So now that we've got on to mowing the lawn short, the next step is to scarify. Scarification is a mechanical method of almost going through a lawn with a fine-tooth comb, just pulling out the dead matter, the thatch, the things that strangulate good grass and prevent it from flourishing in the right conditions. So as we move forward, you will see I'll go over my scarifier and I'll start to pull out matter out of the lawn. You can be quite surprised at how much comes out at times. So that is the first pass complete. You will see that the lawn has been left looking rather patchy, and particularly on that westerly side of the lawn it's a lot darker. That's because there's far more dead matter there due to dog urea and drought damage. You also look very carefully, you might be able to see there's a line across here. That was an electrical cable that the customer forgot to tell me about. The scarifier, luckily it was on a low setting, just tweaked the cable and pulled it up. We've since removed it. But these are things you can be careful of when you're scarifying. Make sure you tell someone, or make sure you're aware of any pipes or any underground cables that are in the lawn, because that nearly blew me back to London. So moving forward, a second pass now in a slightly different direction at a 45-degree angle to where I was in the first place. And this is just to make sure that I'm getting up the rest of the dead matter, the rest of the thatch, the rest of the moss and any residual weeds, and also that will create channels into the soil to allow the seed to bed in a bit later when we get to that stage. That's the second pass complete. We've scarified twice now in slightly different directions at a 45-degree angle to ensure that we've got as much thatch, as much moss, as much dead matter out as we possibly can, in order to give the topsoil the best chance to breathe and for the new seed to germinate in the channels that we've created with the scarifier. The next stage now is to aerate. I'm using a Bannerman fracture tine aerator. This has tines that are slightly off angle that go in at bottom dead centre. They fracture the root zones, they come back out again. This is great because it doesn't leave any cores on the lawn, but does pretty much the same thing as a hollow tine aerator. But let me quickly show you, before I crack on with that, what the lawn looks like now. The lawn as it is now, 2 passes done, all tidied up, all debris removed. You'll see there's a few dark patches. That's where we've removed extra thatch that would on risen areas. But overall, I'm pleased with that. And to be quite honest, this lawn hasn't been too bad. Not an excessive amount of thatch, not an excessive amount of moss. But as you can see, it's now looking nice and level and ready for aeration. And that's the aeration complete. Thousands of tiny little holes punched into the lawn, offering decompaction, allowing air, nutrients and water to get into the root zone where it really needs to be to kickstart the microorganisms underneath to really start feeding your lawn from below. In fact, aeration is one of the most important natural things you can do yearly to your lawn just to keep it in good health. So with the aeration complete, we're now in a position to make use of the holes we've made by overseeding. Using a ratio of about 30 grams per square metre, I'm going to overseed this whole lawn now with the perennial ryegrass and creeping red fescue mix. That will give the lawn a nice thick green lush appearance, and the creeping red fescue will fill the gaps in between that the ryegrass leaves behind. Always aerate and then overseed, not the other way around. Let's make use of those holes, get the seeds into the punchy holes we've made, let them bed in, germinate and grow. Seeding done. Bit of an issue with it being quite breezy today. A lot of drift on the grass seed. I've probably seeded the neighbour's lawn as well as this one. The next stage now is to start distributing the organic compost dressing that I use for my lawns. I use a company quite close to me that specifically makes compost lawn dressing, and it's absolutely fantastic because it gives the lawn an extra boost of nutrients that you wouldn't ordinarily get with just topsoil. So what I'll do now, I'll distribute the soil at different points around the lawn, so it looks like you've got thousands of large moles. We'll then spread it out, and finally we'll finish off by going over the drag mat to finally level the lawn, distribute the seeds into the holes we've made, and make sure everything's nice and even and level. Renovation complete. The lawn has been mowed low, it's been scarified, all the dead matter taken out, all of the moss, all of the weeds taken out that we treated before. It's been aerated, thousands of holes, fracture tine aeration gone into the ground. It's then been overseeded, so all the seeds have gone into the ground. It's still warm because we're in October, so it's all set ready for that to germinate, and finally it's been top dressed and then fed with an organic granular feed. The top dressing is organic compost. That's like an added nourishment for the lawn, and the organic granular feed, very similar, will also condition the soil at the same time. So all that happens now is just let nature take its course. Seed needs 4 things to germinate: soil, which it has; nourishment, which I've just given it; oxygen, which is free; and water. And the partnership between me and the customer is they just have to water it. Mother Nature will do the rest. A few housekeeping rules going forward with this lawn is a couple of things I've suggested to the customer. When it does grow, not to mow it so low. Think of the blade like a solar panel. The bigger it is, the more energy it receives, the more energy it produces. And also just keep it hydrated. They do have a dog. It's a good idea to keep the dog off the lawn for a little while, certainly when it's going to urinate. But overall, I'm quite pleased with this lawn. I think this is going to come back lush, green and thick, ready for spring 2023. Hello, Mark from Lawnologist. I thought I'd just give you a quick update. It's exactly 4 weeks to the day since we did this renovation. This was the last renovation -1 of the year on the 19th of October. Today is Wednesday the 16th of November, and look, we have got a lovely, thick, lush green lawn. Exactly what we wanted. Now don't get me wrong, it's still early days, there's still a lot of immature seedlings, there's a lot of thickening up to do, but it just goes to show that actually doing a renovation in autumn whilst the soil is still warm, whilst the weather is still quite mild, is a good thing to do. Happy customer means happy Lawnologist.